Look at you. How long have you been sitting there? How many times have you unlocked your phone in the last hour looking for absolutely nothing? You're scrolling through lives you aren't living, watching people achieve dreams you should be chasing, and for what? A little hit of dopamine? A temporary escape from the reality you are actively refusing to build? Let's bypass the polite small talk today. We aren't doing the gentle, it's okay, take your time, self-care. Because you have coddled yourself straight into a corner, you have comforted yourself into stagnation. I am talking to you, the version of you that is currently hiding behind excuses. Every single day you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it on Monday. I'm just not in the right headspace today. Let me ask you a question. When is the right headspace coming? Is a magical wave of perfect energy going to wash over you while you're lying on the couch? No, it's not. You are waiting for inspiration, but inspiration is a luxury for people who don't mind losing. If you want to actually become the person you talk about becoming, you don't wait for inspiration. You drag yourself to the desk. You open the laptop. You force momentum into existence. Stop waiting. Stop pausing. Stop lying to yourself. Open your eyes. Look at the clock. Time is moving, whether you decide to join the race or not. We have this incredible delusional ability to treat our future selves like superheroes. You look at a massive pile of pending work, and instead of doing it now, you say, oh, future me will handle that. Future me will have more energy. Future me will be focused. What a lie. Future you is current you, but more tired, more stressed, and buried under a mountain of past laziness. You are actively sabotaging your own life and calling it a break. Let's get specific. That book, the one sitting on your nightstand or your desk, you started it a month ago. You read the first 2 chapters, felt great about yourself, and then let it collect dust. Why? Because watching a fictional drama on Netflix is easier. That assignment, the deadline is creeping up like a shadow. You know it's there. You feel the knot in your stomach every time you think about it. But instead of clearing the knot by finishing the work, you ignore it. You distract yourself. The university applications, this is your life we are talking about, your future, your career, and you are putting it off to watch another season of a show to see how characters who don't exist finish their stories, while your own story is stuck on a blank page. Get your priorities straight. A television show will be there in 5 years. The university deadline won't. The opportunity won't. The momentum won't. You are trading your actual real life potential for a pixelated distraction. It is a terrible bargain, and you know it. Every time you choose the distraction, you are voting against your own dreams. You are telling yourself, my goals aren't actually that important to me. Is that true? Are they not important? Because if they are, it's time to start acting like it. Let's talk about why you're really doing this. It's not because you're busy, it's because you are terrified of discomfort. Doing hard things is uncomfortable. Sitting down to write, study, apply, or build requires mental effort. It requires you to face the possibility that it might be hard or that you might not do it perfectly the first time. And your brain, in all its cowardice, in these moments screams, go back to the comfort zone, go back to the screen, go back to the bed. But nothing grows in the comfort zone except regret. Think about the version of yourself that you dream about. Close your eyes for a second and see them. How do they walk? How do they speak? What have they achieved? Now answer me this. Did that version of yourself get there by binge watching TV? Did they get there by leaving assignments until 2 a.m. the night before they were due? Did they get there by letting a book sit half-read for a month while they complain about not having enough time? Absolutely not. That version of you exists because they made sacrifices. They chose the discomfort of discipline over the ease of distraction. They understood that willpower isn't something you are born with. It's a muscle you break down and build up every single day. Every time you say no to a distraction, your willpower gets stronger. Every time you say yes to the hard task, your discipline doubles. But every time you give in, you weaken the muscle. You make it easier to quit next time. You are training yourself to be a quitter. Stop training for defeat. It is time for an audit. No excuses, no sugarcoating. Look at your last week and ask yourself, where did the time go? You have the same 24 hours as the people who are changing the world. The difference isn't talent, the difference is execution. And if you want to execute, you have to outsmart your own lazy brain. Your brain is naturally wired to take the path of least resistance. If doing the work feels like a massive chore before you even start, you will fail. So listen to me carefully. You need to weaponize convenience. Stop hiding your tools. You need to prepare your environment so your dreams are highly accessible and your distractions are impossible to reach. Prepare your desk right now, make it accessible. Leave your computer open, turn it on, and just as it is. Leave the document tab open, don't close it, don't shut the lid, let it stare at you. Leave that half-read book right by your nightstand. Not stacked under magazines, not shut away in a drawer, open on the nightstand. Leave your sketchbook out with the pencil resting right on top of it exactly as it is. Why? Because easily accessible things make it easier for your brain to make up its mind and just to reach out to do it. Think about the alternative. If your notebook is tucked away on the top shelf of a closet, your brain has to worry about standing up, opening the door, reaching for the top shelf, bringing it out, finding a pen. By the time you have thought about all these steps, your brain says forget it, let's just check TikTok instead. Eliminate the steps, lower the friction for the good habits, and raise the friction for the bad ones. If you want to watch TV, hide the remote in another room inside a box. If you want to study, have the books laid out like a trap you cannot avoid walking into. Force yourself into action by making production the easiest physical choice available to you. But I don't feel creative, I have a creative block. Shut up. Creative blocks are an invention of the lazy. Creativity is not a spirit that visits you in the night, it is a fire you strike with raw effort. If you are sitting there staring at a blank page, waiting for a brilliant idea to magically manifest, you are wasting your time. If you want to unlock high-level creativity and problem solving, you need to shock your system. Here are 3 aggressive tricks to break the lock on your brain right now. This is something I have mentioned in my previous videos as well because this one actually worked. The shitty first draft rule. Stop trying to write or create something perfect on the first try. Your perfectionism is just cowardice in a fancy suit. It paralyzes you. Force yourself to write the first, ugliest, most chaotic draft possible. Write complete garbage, just fill the page. It is indefinitely easier to edit a terrible page than it is to edit a blank page. Get the trash out of your head so the gold can start flowing. Second, we have the environment shock. This is something that have personally worked for me. If you have been staring at the same wall for 3 hours, your brain is asleep. Change the scenario immediately. Move to the floor, sit on the floor with your notebook, walk to a different room, go outside and walk around the block with zero music, zero podcast, just you and your thoughts. Sensory burden breeds hypercreativity. Force your brain to experience a literal shift in perspective and watch how fast your ideas shift with it. Third, we have the 10 idea blitz. When you're stuck on a problem, an assignment, or a creative project, sit down and force yourself to write down 10 ideas as fast as humanly possible. Don't think, don't judge, don't filter. The first 4 ideas will be obvious and boring. Ideas 5 to 8 will be hard, but ideas 9 to 10, that's where the madness and the genius live. You have to dig past the shallow, lazy thoughts to reach the deep creative reservoir. Creativity demands movement. It demands chaotic action. You don't think your way into creating, you create your way into thinking. Everything is possible if you have the iron will to demand it from yourself. We live in a world where you can learn any skill, apply to any institution, build any business, and rewrite your entire story from a laptop. The tools are right in front of you. The only missing variable is your work ethic. Are you really going to let your life be defined by laziness? Are you really going to look back in 10 years and say, yeah, I could have been someone, I could have gone to that school, I could have finished that project, but there was this really good drama series I just had to finish first. How embarrassing. How tragic. Do not let your story be tragedy of wasted potential. You have the fire inside you to do incredible things, but fire dies down if you don't feed it fuel. Fuel is action. Fuel is showing up when you don't want to. Fuel is locking your phone in another room, turning off the TV and locking eyes with the work. You are entirely capable of completing that assignment today. You are entirely capable of finishing that book this week. You are entirely capable of submitting those applications. You just have to stop giving yourself the option to fail. Remove later from your vocabulary. It does not exist. There is only now. This is the end of this episode, which means it's the beginning of your execution. The moment this audio stops, you have a choice. You can either go right back to what you were doing, slip back into the fog, open another tab, scroll another feed, and remain exactly who you were 20 minutes ago. Or you can decide that enough is enough. Look at your desk. Is your computer ready? Is your book waiting? Is your sketchbook open? The path is cleared? The excuses are dead? You can decide that the person you dream about being deserves to exist. You can decide to respect your own time, your own mind, and your own future. No more excuses, no more 5 more minutes, no more delaying your greatness for cheap entertainment. Get up, move, put your phone on silent, throw it across the room if you have to. Sit down at your desk, open the work, complete the book, finish the assignment, apply for the university, do what it takes. Be the version of yourself you dream about. Prove to yourself that you have the willpower to master your own life. Stop watching other people live, go live your own. Now, get to work.